Yeah.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Independent Publishers of New England's weekly broadcast on issues of interest to everyone in the field of independent publishing here in the United States, and especially with a focus in New England. We're joined by our producer, our president, Charlotte Pierce, and our guest this week is the very active mom and also active author of 7 books now, Mariana Llanos. Welcome, Mariana, and thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks, Mariana. So Mariana is going to talk with us today about something that a lot of us in independent publishing consider, and she's been using it for all 7 of her books. Her 7th book is coming out very, very soon, and that is CreateSpace. It's a fantastic program, and Mariana knows a lot about how to move around CreateSpace. But before we talk about that, Mariana, could you tell us something about your books that you've written and the 7th book that's coming out?
Yes, definitely. Yes, well, CreateSpace has been my platform of choice. I have published 6 children's books. This is the latest one, the one that came out last year. This is a superpower for me. And I write for school-age children, basically. I write books in English and in Spanish as well. And the latest book, the one that I'm about to release in a couple of days, is called Not Home for Christmas. And it is this one right here. I already have it. It's actually already live, but the official release date is July 1st. And I also used CreateSpace for this. My books, I like to believe they are just short stories that anyone can enjoy, grown-ups, children, and in between. So they're short stories, but of course, the market demands you to choose an audience. So I choose children, definitely, and it's been a joy. I also write some other things. I write adult fiction as well, short stories, some poetry, but I am more active in children's stories.
Okay, thank you. I'm getting an echo. Mariana, could you tell us why you chose to work with CreateSpace, and then maybe work us a little bit through the process and tell us what an author should keep in mind before they start using CreateSpace and as they're using it? So why CreateSpace? What helped you make the decision?
Sure. Well, when I was thinking about publishing my stories, well, first I should tell you that I've been writing since I was young. So I was a young girl. I always wanted to publish a book one day. But those dreams sometimes go in the back of your head as you raise a family and you get busy and all those things. But when I decided, and I said I had a story called Tristan Wolf. That was my first book. And I decided to publish this book. I started looking into publishing. I didn't know what to do. Actually, now I look back and I see how naive I was. Remember, I posting on Facebook one day, "Hey, does anyone know an editor I can, so I can publish a book or something like that, So, now I look back at that and I say, well, I was very naive. It doesn't work like that. But to this day, I see people doing it, So, when of course, I didn't hear anything back from anyone, So I started just researching, and that's what I usually recommend people who come and casually ask me, "Hey, I have an idea. How do I get it published?" So I tell them, well, do your research. So I went online, and I found out a lot about traditional publishing and how the submission process works. And I got my children's books market book, the edition, to look through all the agents and publishers, and blah blah, all that. And then I came across an article. I can't remember which one now, but I think it was from Joanna Peng, and that talked about self-publishing. So I got interested immediately about it. So I started reading about self-publishing, researching different platforms, how people did it, how people made mistakes. Now, this was in 2013. Well, it was 2012, I think, the late 2012 when I was researching. So So people had already some experience. There were some people who were already leaders in the self-publishing industry because they've had experience and everything. So I went on their blogs and read a lot of information. I bookmarked a lot of it so I could compare it later. So I decided that CreateSpace was the best for me. After I called them, they had a phone number, and I called and I talked to someone, of course, in the sales department, but because they do have publishing services as well. So I talked to this person, and I really liked the accessibility of them. So, I could talk, I was able to talk to him, I was able to ask him a lot of questions. We talked back and forth several times. He wasn't pushy. He sent me an email saying, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm here, because I was going to hire their designing services, to put the book together. So, I liked it, and when of course, I realized I needed some capital to do this. It's a business venture if you're going into self-publishing. So, I had the capital for it, and I had some, everything that I needed. So, I went with them, and to this day, I don't regret it. So, yes. Sorry, we have a guest here. She's my co-author.
You're talking.
Okay. Well, I'll be there in just a little bit. Okay. All right. Thank you for telling me. Yes.
Okay. As you can see, I'm just going to interrupt you, Mariana. You don't have to have your kids grow up before you start publishing. So you can't be a mother and a publisher at the same time.
Well, they are a source of inspiration. Let me tell you, these two people on the cover of this book, they resemble a lot my own children. So, they are a source of inspiration. And, of course, it makes it a little bit more challenging trying to concentrate and do your work while they're around. But, what's life without challenges?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you were talking about why you joined CreateSpace, and originally you were going to, you called them in order to get information about the design team, if I understand correctly.
Yes, we're going a little bit. Yes, so I talked to them. I found a lot of information, and and I think that was the best choice. Well, now for my first book, like I said, I hired their services, their publishing services, and I don't do it anymore. I did it for the first two books, and once I learned enough, I just started. I outsource myself with other people. I hire my own designers, and I have my own people, my own group of people who work with me, and for doing this, because I was able to find a more affordable way of doing it. So,
okay, great. Stop there just for a second.
Is it worth it? It probably is if you don't know anything about it, but you can do it your way too.
Okay, and Mariana, you mentioned that you have a group of people who are working with you, and you're doing a lot of this stuff by yourself, but you're still using CreateSpace. Could you talk a little bit about the roles and the skills that the people that you have working with you on publishing your books are, the ones you personally outsourced, and what it is that you're doing with CreateSpace?
Well, of course, yes. Well, the people that I usually hire for my work are, illustrators, obviously, because I don't illustrate. So I hire illustrators, and the same person, depending on the book, but I have a person who helps me with a lot of technical details, like layout and things like that. I've learned to do a lot myself, like I said, and I do have an eye for design. So and I like exploring and learning. So I take online classes on using Photoshop. I do most of my stuff on Photoshop. So so I take online classes and courses because I like it. But if there's but you don't have to do it yourself. You can hire other people, because many people are afraid of doing this and say, well, this is hard. And yet it is true, and a professional should be doing your design and your layout, things like that, especially if you don't know how to do it. And also, of course, I hire editors, and I have 2 editors I work with on a regular basis. And also, anything that I need, I hire, that I don't know how to do, or I don't have a knowledge, I hire out. So you have to set some money aside for that. And for CreateSpace, currently I'm just using their publishing service and their platform to distribute my books.
Okay, great. I know you were talking about hiring out, and a lot of people have questions about how you find the people that work well with you for editing and illustrating and things like that. I'll get to that in a moment, but I realized that you just did an audio version of your book with one of the IPNE members, who we all cherish, Jill Kufsky. Do you want to talk about that for just a second?
Sure. Yes. Well, Jill and I collaborated. Well, I met Jill through the IPNE group, and I heard her work, and I loved her voice, and I loved her approach. She's very professional. She's kind at the same time, but she's professional. Which is the quality that most attracts you to work with someone. So she did a great job with Tristan Wolfe. She narrated it, and she does a great job helping me promote it, and which she doesn't have to do, but she does it. She helps a lot, so she's a true example of teamwork and collaboration that we need so much in the self-publishing industry.
Okay, thanks. Now, getting back to CreateSpace, can you work us a little bit through the process of what it is from manuscript to publication using CreateSpace?
Sure. Yes, I sent some pictures, and maybe we can put on the screen now, so we can start with the number one. Well, I can see it there, but let's see if I can see it.
Okay, hold on. Charlotte, can you get that up on the screen? There we go. Okay, is that it?
Yes. So first, the first step to get into CreateSpace is to open an account. It's
Okay.
a very simple process. You don't have to call. I call them, but you don't have to. You can if you have questions. But you open an account, and I recommend doing this once you have your manuscript ready. Once you've been through your editors, once you're ready. Because if you are not ready, you're going to go through it several times. It's going to be more work. So have your manuscript. Make it final and ready to go. So this is how your member dashboard looks like. So as you can see, I have several titles, but one time I had only one title, right? So but now I have several titles. I have several books. So I publish my books in English and Spanish here as well. So the only one that you can see there that says incomplete is the Maze Cup Princess. That is the one that I haven't finished uploading yet. So I'm going to walk you through that one a little bit so you can see some of the process. Now,
Right.
on this dashboard, you're going to see the total units that you sell in the month. Now, June was a very slow month. Usually the summer months are slow for children's books, at least in my case. I don't know for other people, but in my case, usually summer months are very slow. And then the royalty balance will be up there in US dollars, and in some euros and pounds as well. And you can access all of your books and all of your titles from here. You can also order your own copies at your discounted price. So yes, so that will be, I think, all the information from this one. So
Okay.
we can go to the next picture.
Okay.
On this next screen, this is the screen for Not Home for Christmas.
All right.
Here, this book is published already, so it's already available on the CreateSpace store and on Amazon. So that's why you see all of the little green checks. They're all green because that process has been completed. Now, the only one that you can see on red there is published on Kindle.
Okay.
Because I haven't used their service to publish on Kindle. I think they have a fee to convert to Kindle. Now, I don't use it because whenever I upload on Kindle, I use my own. I have a person who does it for me, and then I upload it. So I don't use their services.
Okay.
But you can too if you want to. Now, also I was going to tell you that here you can see the description of the book. Sorry, I had to think for a minute. The description of the book. So this is what is going to appear on your Amazon page and also on your CreateSpace store. Now, people have more a tendency to buy on Amazon because you can have Prime shipping and you have many other options. The CreateSpace store, it is a better deal for you as an author because you get a bigger royalty. But in my experience, people don't really go to that store to buy books. So maybe it's a matter of kind of herding people toward that area until okay. But shipping is a little bit more expensive, so people, of course, look for ways to do it, not to buy in a cheaper way. You can't blame them. So, yes, maybe we can see the next one.
Okay.
Okay. in this one, this is my title information for Not Home for Christmas. So as you can see, I erased the title ID just for safety. No, but I guess maybe that's public. I don't even know. You can see the ISBN, and then on this page you are going to put your title, the subtitle of your book. You're going to add the contributors. That will be the author, the illustrator, if you want to add an editor or whoever else you want to add. And then you're going to put all of the basic information for that book, and that will be the first step in setting up your book. Now mine is locked because the book is already live.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to go to the next screen. Okay, and this one I'm taking you to the Maze Cup Princess, the one that is incomplete, the one that I'm working on. Now this book is a story of a tiny princess the size of a maze cup, and this is set in the time of the Incas. So in the Inca Empire. So I'm working on this one. Well, the text is finished. My illustrator is working on this one, and I hope to have it ready out next year. Yes, so that will be my next title. So here you see it's the same screen as the previous one, but this one is not locked because I'm not finished with this. So I'm still filling out information. We'll have a publication date yet. Can change the language. You can add contributors. Now, once you're finished with this screen, and you don't even have to do that to do everything right away. You can do just some things, the things that have the little star on the side. Then you're going to save and continue. Yeah, you're going to save and continue. You're going to go to the next screen that will give you options for your ISBN. Now, I already did this, so that's why you see the ISBN there. But you could choose. You have 3 options, I believe. One is the free CreateSpace ISBN. Okay. The second one is it is free assigned. It has a name that I can't remember, and it is $10 for that. You can put your own imprint. I think you can put your own name as the imprint. And the third one is to put your own ISBN, the one that you would buy at Bowker's. So for all of my books, I've chosen the CreateSpace free ISBN, and because I think that's the more convenient for me this case, because I'm publishing with them. If I were to publish through another platform, let's say through Ingram, or make my own print run or anything, I would have to buy me an ISBN and use it. So this ISBN is only for CreateSpace. Okay. So yeah, some people, I have a question here saying that if indies should buy their own ISBN to control distribution. Absolutely. If you want to distribute to other places, you need to buy your own ISBN, which is another expense that you have to keep in mind to consider. It will be one of the most important, of course. But for me, it works working only with CreateSpace in this case because that's my main market, Amazon. I can't use CreateSpace ISBN on other platforms, no. So if I'm going to publish through, it's only for CreateSpace. So if I were to take it somewhere else, I would have to buy my own ISBN. And I could do that, of course. Yes. So so here, these are the ISBNs that they assigned, and you can't change this. This is it. Now, if you would like to get a Library of Congress control number, you will have to do it in this process. What I did with my latest book, and you will be able to see it here, I called CreateSpace. So let me show you here on my, you can see it's here, Library of Congress control number there on my copyright page. I called CreateSpace and I told them that I wanted to add the library control number, and they open a window for you on your member dashboard. You pay $25 and they do it for you. You have to do this before you submit your files. So it has to be before the book is printed. Okay, so we can go to the next screen. Okay, now the next screen is about the interior files. And here you're going to choose how you want your book. So you're going to choose the trim. In this case, it says 6 by 9, but actually this book is going to be 8 by 10. And so I'm going to change that. You can hit choose a different size, and they will show you some of the standard size, and there's some custom sizes as well. And then you have templates to download if you would like, if you're going to do your layout yourself, which, again, I don't recommend if you don't have an experience doing it, especially if you're doing something like chapter books. It's better to have a professional designer because it's going to show, you're going to be able to see. And then also we have, you can choose between black and white, interior, probably for chapter books, and full color. In my case, I choose full color because my books are for children.
Okay.
And also choose paper color. With full color, I think the only option is white. Now, once you choose that, well, a tool that is very important, you will see down there, it says estimate your book's manufacturing costs. So you go to that link, and it's going to take you to a calculator. So they're going to consider the trim size and the page count. So you have to have that to calculate your costs. And then they're going to tell you how much it's going to cost, depending if it's color book, if it's full bleed, or not full bleed, and they'll give you an approximate of how much it's going to cost. So that is very important. Usually, children's books below 40 pages are going to cost around $365 full color per book.
Wow.
And yes, and then of course you have to calculate shipping as well, and they have a shipping calculator too, because that is part of your costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now now once you have your files ready, your files need to be on PDF. They also have, we need to go back to the previous screen, please.
Okay, we are running out of time a little bit, so.
Yes, it says okay. Choose how you'd like to submit your interior. Well, you can upload your book file, or you can talk to them about professional services. Now, like I said earlier, for my first book, I talked to them about professional services, and I used them. So they did all of the rest for me. But now I do it myself, so I upload my own book file. Now, how I get my book file ready? First, of course, you write on Word, you do da-da-dee-da-da-da, and then you make it into a PDF file. And if you're writing children's books, you work your files in the program you're using, either Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever it is, and then you put it together in a PDF file. Once you have your PDF file, you can upload it here. Now, you need to name your PDF file accordingly for you to remember which one you're uploading. That's something that sometimes we overlook, but sometimes when I just want to see how it looks like, for example, I name it Not Home for Christmas, Proof 1. So I know which one I uploaded to CreateSpace. It's happened to me that I have uploaded some files, and I had no idea which one was it later for reference. So it is important to name the file in a way that you're going to remember which one it is. And for this file, at the beginning, I had help of a professional designer to create my files on PDF. Now I can do it myself. So it is. I think it's a learning curve. You can do some things on your own. Some others, you have more help. Okay, we can go to the next screen now. Okay, in this step, you've already uploaded your files. Something I was going to mention, when you upload your file, you are going to have an option to see it. They have I can't remember how it's called, but I have a tool where you can see your book, how it's going to look like. So that is very useful. Use it, look at it, look at all of the pictures, look at all of the text, look at the margins. So it's going to give you a reference on how your book is going to look like in print. Now, next you're going to choose a finish for your cover. I usually pick glossy for children's books. And now, in this step, you're going to upload your cover file. That it is a separate file on PDF as well. I do use their free templates. They have templates for the size of the cover. I don't use the templates to build my cover, although they do have those. But I think they're kind of common, and when you use them, you can tell, they are, free templates. So I don't really use them, but some people use them. I guess it's their option. So they're there for a reason. Especially in children's books, I don't think you can use this template. They don't look as nice. So so I do have someone. I have a designer to help me design my book covers. I believe CreateSpace is very interesting for and very friendly, very user friendly for with people. It takes you from one to the other step to the other step. You just push a button, you upload your files. But you have to have everything ready before doing this. So you have your cover file ready on PDF on the right size. And like I said, I use their templates to make sure that my book is the right size, the cover, and it depends on the width of your spin tool. They calculate that for you. So, and you have also options here. You have build your cover online, which is their free templates. You have professional cover design that they do it for you and they charge you. And I did this for my first book, for Tristan Wolf. And the third option is upload a print-ready PDF cover, and that's what I use now. And the cost is starting at I can see there now, $199. Can see, but it is for the first book. I think it was fine because it was my first book. I really didn't know much of what I was doing, so I was learning. But now I think I can hire a person. For less than that. So I really hope that they do have really good designers on CreateSpace, though. They have professional people on CreateSpace, and that's something have to acknowledge. But sometimes it can get pricey for us, especially for your first book. So, okay. But I did use it. Now, I saw one of the questions that it starts at $199. That's right. And I saw one of the questions you sent me, and it was the worst mistake I've done in this platform. I think. Well, I think I've done several mistakes, but probably the worst is to upload my books, get too overexcited and upload my books before they were ready, and not realizing that. So I did that. I did this with my first book. I was overexcited and I uploaded it, and I wanted to get over with, and I wanted to publish it. So then I realized that actually the editing phase wasn't there. When I read it, when I saw it, I was like, okay, gosh, this needs another round of editing. So it ended up being more costly for me because I had to redo it. So so that's a big problem. So that's why I say, have your files ready with several rounds of editing, and once you are satisfied and a book that you can publish. So yeah, it costed me that mistake, but that's how you learn, I guess. So so that will be and then we need the next one.
The next slide.
The next slide. There you go. Okay. Yes. So this will be the this will be the complete setup, and this is what happens after the one that I showed you before. Once you uploaded your interior files, once you uploaded your cover, you're going to submit your files for review. You're going to have a chance to look at your interior. You cannot look at your cover, though, because I had a person asking me the other day, how can I look at my cover once it's uploaded? You can't. So you have to upload it the right way. You have to make sure it's right, and you upload it. Now you're going to submit all of your files for review. It takes about 24 hours to have them back. Sometimes they will tell you there were technical issues and your files are not printable, and they will give you the reasons. That's a good thing. They will state the reasons. They will give you the reasons. And then some other times they will tell you, congratulations, your files are printable. So and some other times they will fix some mistakes for you. So like if you made a mistake on the trim on some sizes or something small, they will fix the mistake for you.
Okay, Mariana, I'm going to stop you for just a second. We have a couple more slides just for our listeners. We're running a little bit over, but please hang with us. Mariana is going through the process with CreateSpace and showing us the slides, which are really well put together. So hang on for a couple more minutes, and thanks for being with us. Okay, Mariana? Do you want to continue? Where you are? Okay.
Yes. Well, yes. Once you have your answer, if files are, if you need to make some changes on your PDF file, then I suggest that you hire a professional, call someone who knows how to do PDFs to fix that, because mostly the problem is that people don't know how to make the PDF the right size. And then once your files are ready, then submit it, resubmit them. And when they tell you, yes, congratulations, your files are printable, you're going to be able to log in on your account again and see and see the proof. You're going to go to the proofing process. You're going to see, you're going to be able to download an interior proof in PDF. You're going to be able to use the digital proofer, and on this digital proofer, you will be able to see the cover too. So you'll see the cover and the interior there, and then you can download a PDF cover which will not contain your cover though. And also you can order a proof, a physical proof like this one. I think this is a proof. Yep, this is proof that this is a proof. So so you will be able to buy one at the cost of your book and plus shipping. And I recommend doing this process. Do not skip it. Do not be cheap on this process, because it's just a few dollars that you're going to spend. You're going to be able to see your book, to be able to look at your margins, to look at all of the illustrations. You're going to be able to have it in your hands. So do not skip this step. You can even order a couple of proofs so you can proof it and another person can proof it. And on this book, I have done the proofing process at least 4 times. So that meant 4 different proofs, because in some books I saw, oh no, I made a mistake, the margin here is not right, or whatever other little thing that I wasn't comfortable with. So so proof it. Get a paper copy so you can see it. Once you're satisfied with your proof, you just hit a button that says publish, and that's it. Before that, or in between that, you can do this. That is this distribution. You're going to set up your distribution. You're going to select, of course, Amazon. Well, unless you don't want to select Amazon, but who wouldn't want to select Amazon? I think it. So you're going to select this. These are kind of like the basics, and then you can select expanded distribution. It doesn't have a cost anymore. It used to cost $25 extra, but it doesn't have a cost anymore. And this is libraries and academic institutions, or CreateSpace Direct, that they will send to. I think that is for online retailers. And the next one, the one on the bottom, it says not eligible because of my trim size. So it depends on the trim size for the last one, the bookstores and online retailers. Well, now that I think CreateSpace Direct, I don't know what it is, but I never really choose those. So I usually do the first 3, and then I select libraries and academic institutions usually. And now why is a whole other show. So and then once you're done with this, you're going to save and continue, and you're going to go to the pricing page. I don't know if I gave you, I don't think I sent you one of those, but you're going to go to pricing, and you're going to set your own price. They will give you a minimum for what that title can be sold for, and then you're going to choose your price, and they're going to give you a calculator so you can see how much you're going to make in all the markets, the royalty calculator, how much you're going to make in the US, Amazon, in the United States, or in Europe, or in several places. So so you will have an idea how much you're going to make for your book. And then once you're satisfied with all that, you're just going to hit publish, and your book is going to be immediately available on the CreateSpace store. Mm-hmm. And it will be available on Amazon in a day or so.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking us through the process and setting up the slides for us.
Sorry, this wasn't much fun, but I wanted to give people an idea of how it is to be inside there. So inside the CreateSpace process.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, as we wrap things up here, would you like to show us the book that's coming out on July 1st again? And
yes. Not Home for Christmas. It's a fun little book about 2 brothers who are going to spend Christmas for the first time away from home. They're going to go all the way to Peru. Now, I'm Peruvian, so that rings close to home. So.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So that's going to be released on July 1st, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Mariana, for joining us. It's really a pleasure kind of being walked through the system. There's so many decisions to make as you work on publishing independently, and it's really nice to get an idea of exactly what's ahead as you work through a platform that you choose, or a business that you choose. So thank you again to everyone who's listening. This is Independent Publishers of New England, IPNE's weekly broadcast on issues of interest to those in the independent publishing industry. And thanks very much to Mariana Llanos and her very patient children who have let us speak to her today, and they're on vacation, and we all know what that's like. And special thanks also to IPNE's president and our producer of this show, Charlotte Pierce. The coming shows that we have next week, July 7th, we're on vacation, so we won't be here. But please hold with us. I would guess that probably a number of people are on vacation, not just us. The following Thursday, July 14th, we'll be talking about art and illustration with Jennifer Nelson. She's an artist herself, and as she started getting involved in the process of art and books, she also was interested in doing graphic design and helping out other artists to do the same thing. She's a wonderful person, beautiful artwork. So we'll be talking with Jennifer Nelson on art and illustration on July 14th, and then the following week, July 21st, we'll be speaking with Elizabeth Lorraine, the author of a children's picture book called Piratess Tilly. It's a brilliant book. A piratess takes off in her ship with her crew of koala bear and her shipping crew, and they go to the Galapagos, and they end up saving a turtle, saving a lot of turtles that pirates are taking. It's a great book. It's all written in haiku, beautiful illustrations, and she'll be talking with us about the children's book world. She's created a lot of special products, wrapping paper cards, dolls, toys, etc., to go along with her book. And it's just won a fantastic award, and so she'll be with us again on July 21st. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thanks, Mariana. Thanks, Charlotte. Bye.
Bye.